Hey, welcome to Bent on Better, and in this video we are going to teach you how to properly mobilize the joints of your body you need to be mobile for your deadlifts. So you want to pay attention here because we're going to hit multiple joints of the body, and we want you to do these things before you deadlift, not while or not after, before you deadlift. We're going to focus mostly on mobilizing our spine and then our lower body, which is going to include our hip complex and our legs. So getting started, we're going to start down in a cat-cow. Very similar to how we started when we were working on squats, if you happen to see our squat video. Setting up, you want to set up with your wrists underneath your shoulders and your hips over top of your knees. We're going to take our spine through two extremes of motion. The first extreme of motion is going to be total extension, in which we're going to lift our tailbone up into the sky. We're going to turn our eyes up and look toward the ceiling by lifting our chin up as well and drop our belly down toward the floor. My spine right now is in the extreme end range of extension. As you see, it looks like a very big arch through my back. Next, I'm going to transition into a flexion-based posture, or the opposite position, by tucking my chin down, pulling my tailbone inward, and pulling my mid-back toward the ceiling. And in doing so, I'm also separating my shoulder blades. I'm trying not to move my hips too far forward like this as to try and focusing on the hips or anything like that. I want to keep my attention purely on the spine. So I'm rounding my shoulder blades, I'm squeezing my abdomen and squeezing my glutes. I'm going to take some time to go through both of those two end ranges of motion, moving through and being aware every step of the way of how I'm feeling every inch of the way. Be patient with this one and make sure to try not to crank too far into a position that causes you undue discomfort or pain otherwise. And a really good tip too to maximize your extension here, if you can take your elbows when you're in this extension based position, when your back is arching and you're looking up or looking forward, take your elbows and try and spin them toward your rib cage or toward your body. That's going to help unlock just another inch maybe of extension in your upper back. The next step in mobilizing, we're going to focus on the low body now. We're going to take our attention down to the hips. We're going to get set up in what's called an adductor rock back, but we're going to do this one side at a time. So you're going to take a tabletop position to start, take one leg out to the side, the leg of your choice, and try and straighten it out, ideally getting that foot flat on the ground. Now it's okay if your toes point forward or if they point out to the sides. This is also fine to have your foot slightly turned up, but we ideally want to try and get it flat if we can. The adductor rock back, we're not just simply going to sit our weight down onto our heel, but rather we're going to try and hinge our hips back. So if you can imagine your body staying at one plane of height right now, right? If I'm 2 feet off of the ground, I'm going to try and rock back 2 feet off of the ground as well at the back, instead of lowering my body again down into like a 1 foot down position. In doing so, you should feel that stretch on the inner thigh, and the further back you go, the more intense that stretch is going to get. So be patient with this one. Try not to go back too quickly, and if you're feeling a good stretch and you would prefer to maybe just hold that spot, go ahead, take the time to just hang out in that position. Try and breathe deeply here, so a deep breath in and a big exhale out to really maximize how much more motion you can get that hip out to the side. Don't forget to switch sides. Spend some time on the other side as well. The third mobilization we're going to work on is still going to address the lower body, the hip complex and the legs, but we're just going to do it in a slightly different position, and it's also going to be borderlining with activation, which is going to be the next step after we're done mobilizing. To set up, you're going to set up on your back, and this movement is called an iron cross. So what you're going to do is lay down flat on your back, take your arms up and out to the sides, take one leg up and in, and we're going to try and reach as far over to the side while turning our hips and try and touch that foot down on the ground if we can. If we can't touch, that's fine, but what we want to make sure of is that our upper body or our shoulders are not popping up off of the ground like this. We want to imagine we've taken a stapler and snapped it down to the ground and kept it down in place so that as you're going through your iron cross drill, you can maximize that rotation that's occurring in the lower half of your body. You'll also feel a nice little stretch that creeps out on the outside edge of the hip, down the outside edge of the leg, all the way down toward the foot. Depending on how tight you are, you may feel that sensation more or less. All right, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.